I want to talk to you about how to interview finance consultants. Now, I recruit accounting and ERP software people, and I spend a lot of time talking to finance people about the implementations they've done, and I thought I would explain how I do it and this might be useful if you're interviewing people. So the first thing you've got to establish is the sort of projects they work on, and you have to drill down a little bit on this to establish exactly one project that you can start talking about. So you need to talk about what sort of projects they've worked on, and then you need to say, okay, one specific project, what sort of client was that for? What business they were in? They're probably not going to want to tell you exactly what the client was, who the client was. So was it retail or manufacturing or whatever? Okay, great. So we're talking about this retail software implementation project, and how long did that last? How many people were involved from the consultancy point of view, and what was the sort of value of it? How many users were there? So that would give you a good idea of the scope of it. And obviously if there's dozens of people involved and it's millions of pounds, that's one thing. And if it's a little project for 20 or 30 grand with a dozen users, that gives you an idea of the scope as well. Then what you want to do is talk about the specific bits of the job that they did. Now, what you really, generally, what I want is someone who has done the whole thing. So they've done the requirements, the discovery, it'd be wonderful if they've done the pre-sales, and if they've taken it through the workshops and the requirements and the specification, they've done the configuration, they've done the setup for the client, they've done the training, they've done the go live, and if they've done all that, that's fantastic. But what you're going to struggle with is people giving you answers to say, oh yes, I've done all that, because for some reason people, because they do it as part of their job, they sort of forget what they do, and so you have to tease it out of them. So if you're going to talk about the requirements, the workshops, the discovery, the actual business processes, you've got to ask questions, and then you've got to say why. So why did you do it? How did you do it? Who did you do it with? So you've got to find a way of sort of delving a little bit deeper to make sure that the level that they've worked on. Likewise with the specification, how much time did you spend doing the specification? Who did you give it to? What was the process? To try and establish a little bit more about it. Configuration setup, again, how long did that take? What was your involvement in it? What specifically did you do? And likewise with the training and go live, who set the go live date? How many people were involved in the training? How much training did you do? Was it one-on-one or was it classes? That kind of stuff. So that gives you a good idea of exactly what they did. So you've got a scope on the project, you've got a scope on exactly what they've done. Now you want to talk about the actual finance. So you really want someone who has worked on multi-currency, multi-company, complex accounting solutions where they've had to do the chart of accounts themselves and they have to set it all up. But they probably won't tell you all of that. So you have to ask them, what was the most complicated thing? What was the most difficult bit? Who was the most difficult bit? Which bit did you struggle with the accounts? Which bit within this project was unusual and surprised you? Whatever it is, you have to ask and you have to delve a little bit deeper so that you can get a good understanding of what their experience is with that particular project. Obviously, if you're then going to carry on and you're going to interview them and talk about other projects, you're going to find the same process a little bit repetitive. But I think it's good to get a couple of projects out the way like that so you know exactly what it is, what skill level the person's coming in at. I hope that helps, and yeah, if you are recruiting implementations consultants with finance experience, give me a call at Ambis, and if you are a finance consultant, hey, it would be great to talk to you as well. Thanks then.